Hebrews chapter 12, verse 28. Since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us be thankful and please God by worshiping Him with holy fear and awe. Hebrews 12:28. The unshakable kingdom talks about the eternal reign of God. This concept resonated with the original audience, especially with those who were facing persecution at the time. Now, since we are receiving this unshakable kingdom, we must respond with gratitude. Christians are called to give thanks in all circumstances. It's not just an emotional response, it's a recognition of God's grace and mercy that we receive through Jesus. And through our gratitude, we can worship responsibly. And what does that mean? We worship with sincerity, truth, in alignment with God's will. Specifically, we worship with reverence and awe. Doing this reminds us about how great God is and what our response to God should be. Now, yes, today is all about thankfulness and gratitude, and that's what I'll talk about. And the rest of today's Manna for the Mind, how we can use that act of gratitude to be God's hands and feet to the world. The other thing I want to highlight today, and I don't have resources to go with this, but we must remember today is not a positive day for everybody. Today is not a thankful day for everybody. Some people don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Some people struggle with being grateful with what they have. We must remember to meet people where they are today. So I encourage all of you, including myself, which I will do later on today, I would challenge you to seek deep within yourself to find your moments of gratitude. What can you be grateful for your life, in your life, through God's provision? But also, how can you be a source of gratefulness for others, especially our Indigenous brothers and sisters who celebrate, or I shouldn't even say celebrate, who recognize today as a day of mourning? How can you meet them where they are? How can you be a kind ear? How can you be hands and feet to them, a voice for them? I believe today can be both a day of gratitude and a day of grief. And we must remember that we can use whatever platform we have to be both grateful and an advocate, to be both grateful and to be both grateful and recognize the hardships of our past. So I hope hopefully that all made sense. Like I said, I know this is very rambling mainly because I didn't plan to say anything like this today. But I was reminded of it, and it would be wrong of me to not vocalize this to you guys. So TLDR, and I'll merge it with our reflection checkpoint today. I want to encourage you to go out and listen to the song Gratitude by Brandon Lake. And again, think about how the message of gratitude is shown to you through that song. And again, how we can be God's hands and feet that can show others how grateful it is to have God. And again, that is through having tough conversations, being a kind ear for those that struggle with today, and to be the hands and feet and voice of hands and feet of God and voice of those people to help ensure that everyone is being recognized regardless of your structure. You don't put down anybody else. Regardless of your structure, you are open and receptive to what others perceive and believe. So hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, all of the last 4 minutes have been kind of scattered. But wrapping it all up, go check out today's Manna for the Mind. I don't talk about it in there. I probably should do a kind of a one-off about that. Maybe I will. But go look at today's Manna for the Mind. It's all about embracing this attitude of gratitude. If you're on TikTok, use the link in my bio. If you're on YouTube, check the link in the description below. And I will catch you tomorrow with Manna for the Mind 305. Until then, stay blessed.